Tonight, we follow up with car tab tax cuts as the Washington Supreme Court decides what will be next and if there will be any sign of relief. Plus, Washington's phase 1 of 4 beginning tomorrow, what you need to know and what's open for business.
As we hit the first full week of May, I'm tracking our next chance for rain, wind, and thunderstorms for the inland Northwest. That plus how next weekend is going to look as of this point.
Good evening and thank you for joining KREM 2 News at 11. I'm Mark Hanrahan. If I'm doing my math correctly, we are entering week 7 of social distancing here at KREM 2. So I continue to broadcast from my home. Meantime, our Regina On back at the KREM 2 studio holding things down there. Regina?
Hey there, Mark. Good to see you. I like the quarantine beard. It looks good.
Oh, thank you.
Well, coronavirus really has been the dominant story for months, but it's not the only story. Many of you have been asking for updates about Washington ballot measure I-976. That's the one that was supposed to seriously cut car tab costs, but has been held up in court. So where is it now? And do Washingtonians still need to pay the old tab prices? Our political reporter Casey Decker looked into it.
Well, as expected, this thing is going to the state Supreme Court. Just last week, they agreed to take the case. What's interesting, though, whereas the initiative appeared doomed to be struck down when the lawsuits were first filed, recent rulings suggest there's a chance it could survive. In Superior Court, the judge found that 2 aspects of 976 violate the law. One, a clause saying that car values should be determined by Kelley Blue Book is illegal because you can't give special privileges to specific companies like that. 2, the city of Burien shouldn't have to repeal certain taxes it needs to pay down bonds. But neither problem was big enough to kill the whole law. The judge ruled, get rid of the Kelley Blue Book thing and exempt Burien, and the rest of 976 can be enacted. It at first looked like he would lift his previous injunction and let the initiative go into effect right away. But in late March, he decided to keep 976 on pause until the Supreme Court makes a decision. So when will that decision come? Well, we don't know exactly, but it'll be sometime this summer. The court told lawyers to start submitting arguments this month and next month. Okay, so what does all this mean for drivers in Washington? Do they need to still pay the more expensive tabs? Right now, yes, because that injunction is still in place. When asked, Governor Inslee said he'd consider providing some relief from tabs due to coronavirus, but so far no action has been taken. Also worth noting, licensing offices are closed because of the pandemic, so you'll have to renew online or via mail. The sponsor of the measure, Tim Eyman, has said people should just refuse to pay. Though in that case, you wouldn't get your new tabs, meaning you could potentially get pulled over and given a ticket. Casey Decker, KREM 2 News.
All right, thank you, Casey. And in other news tonight, the Washington stay-at-home order was expected to end today. Now it's been extended to the end of May, but phase 1 of reopening the state starts tomorrow. Here's what you need to know and what's allowed during this phase. Low-risk construction, fishing, hunting, golfing, and park access can resume in Washington. Local state parks like Mount Spokane, Palouse Falls, and Riverside State Parks are reopening tomorrow. The 9-mile recreation area will also open, as well as a Spokane River Centennial State Park Trail. However, large group gatherings are still banned. Here are a few things you need to know before you go to a state park. Check what is open. Opt for day trips close to home, and keep in mind overnight stays are not allowed. Stay within immediate household members only and come prepared. You can find the full list of what opens tomorrow right now on KREM.com. For more information on Washington's stay-at-home order, you can also text HOME to 509-448-2000. Governor Inslee also mentioned on Friday a list of 10 counties that could reopen earlier than the rest of the state. Spokane County, however, did not make that list. A spokesperson for the governor's office explained the criteria to make this list is a population of less than 75,000 and no new cases within the last 3 weeks. Health Officer Dr. Bob Lutz reported 5 new cases of COVID-19 from over the weekend.
Several of them in Eastern Washington are extremely small. So I will continue to push the governor to open up Spokane County sooner than later, as I have for the last 4 weeks.
Counties that are eligible would need to submit a variance request to the Department of Health. A spokesperson with Washington's Joint Information Center says state leaders are also evaluating data to see whether other counties could be considered as well. Northern Quest Casino will be reopening tomorrow with limited hours. They've been closed now for almost 2 months. So we want to know, before Washington fully reopens, how likely are you to head to the casino? You can go to our KREM 2 app and click the Vote Now tab, or you can go to vote on krem.com/vote. Meanwhile, businesses across the state remain closed under the governor's stay home, stay healthy order. Workers at Northern Quest Casino are busy preparing to reopen. Managers at the casino say it's about more than just business. It's really a lifeline for the tribe.
This is essential to our tribe. So without it, we can't fund our government.
More than 1,800 employees across the tribe were furloughed after many businesses had to close, but reopening the casino will bring some of these workers back. The hotel, food court, and restaurant areas, however, will be fully open, but a few changes are coming to the casino. The slot floor will only be open to about 50% of its original capacity. The machines and other items will also be set up to still promote social distancing. Guests are also encouraged to wear masks and stay home if you're feeling sick. These won't be permanent changes, like the state's plan to reopen the casino is taking gradual steps. And earlier we did ask you how likely you are to head to the casino amid Washington's reopening, and the majority of you say that you are not likely to go, and less than 10% say very likely, and a little more than the very likely say maybe. So that's very interesting to know. Well, last week, several tents set up in Brown's Addition that led to a standout between the city and houseless residents that vacated the South Cannon Warming Center. It turns out the commotion was a result of confusion over an expired lease. Dozens of people facing homelessness say they didn't know where to go, and today things are back to normal, and the city says they have a plan moving forward.
Moving forward with the Cannon Street site, that'll continue to be a facility for the next couple of weeks.
And since the disagreement at the park, the city has apologized to Jules for how they handled the eviction, and the organization has now completely moved out of the building. Jules Helping Hands were the tenants throughout the winter months. Well, it served as a warming center. The shelter will remain open along with a downtown library location, while a more permanent location is being sought out. And Mark, last week we covered residents from the Cannon Warming Center who were wrongly evicted.
That's right, Regina, and the city has since apologized to those former residents as the contract with Jules Helping Hands came to a close. Well, now a new group has taken over that contract. They're called the Guardians, and we spoke with their founder earlier. He said so far the transition has gone smoothly.
The cooperation with the previous vendor was worked out. The residents that were displaced, information was getting back to them that the facility was available to them in a very timely manner. The mayor took a personal stake in that and making sure that those residents were aware of that, and that was very effective. So this, from the first night on Friday and then taking over Cannon on I believe yesterday, Sunday, yes, that we've been at capacity at 49 at one location and 55 at the other. So operations are running very smoothly, and the individuals that were displaced on Friday have access to the full service, and we were happy to be able to have the capacity to fill that role.
If you would like to see that interview in its entirety, you can head to our website, that's krem.com. Well, the list of events canceled by the coronavirus pandemic just continues to grow. The half Ironman race in Coeur d'Alene is now postponed until September. The race, originally set for next month, will now happen on September 6th. Organizers say it was for health and safety of the community. The full Ironman will be returning to Coeur d'Alene in 2021. The festival at Sandpoint has been postponed to August 2021 over coronavirus concerns. This morning, event organizers said via Facebook, quote, "It would be irresponsible to gather 30,000 people this summer over the course of our 2-week event." The organizers hinted it is possible the festival may host other smaller events before the next festival in 2021. Another big Northwest event postponed until next year, Dave Matthews Band at the Gorge. The Fish concert will also be postponed until next year. Journey and Brad Paisley concerts, both scheduled for this month, have been canceled. If you already have tickets to the postponed shows, they will be good for the new dates. Okay, let's pause and talk weather for a moment because a pretty nice start to the work week here in the Inland Northwest, and tomorrow will be even better. And then changes head our way. Let's get straight to meteorologist Thomas Patrick with more on that. Thomas.
Isn't that always how it seems, Mark?
Yes.
Yeah, we always get some nicer days and then some changes come along. It is, spring in the Inland Northwest. Very nice day today, except for if you were trying to go outside first thing in the morning. Those temperatures quite cold, even for May standards. Some areas in the 20s, including Deer Park and Coeur d'Alene. Below freezing in Pullman as well, just shy of that marker in Spokane. It's been the coldest day in quite some time, but today also marks the average day of the final frost or freeze in Spokane. That's May 4th. So that means half of years it's usually before today and half of years it's after today. So if you're hoping to get a head start on potting some plants or getting your gardens together, just hold off maybe for 1 or 2 more weeks to be extra safe about it. Otherwise, we're looking much better even for this week. A little bit of cloud cover over central Washington. There are some radar returns. I don't think much of that is hitting the ground, so drizzle at most at the moment. But shouldn't be any concern. Maybe partly cloudy to start the morning, but an absolutely exceptional day weather-wise for us tomorrow. 69 and into the low 70s by the afternoon hours. That is going to be phenomenal. But I am tracking another batch of rain, wind, and potentially thunderstorms later on in the week, so more on that. We'll time out that system in just a few minutes. Mark?
Looking forward to that. Thomas, thank you very much. Well, for high school seniors, prom is a main event of the year, and most high school seniors aren't letting the pandemic get in the way of celebrating. The story on seniors helping seniors is coming up next. And before we head to the break, we want to give a senior shout out to Alexis Ross. She is a senior at Spokane Valley Tech. Her family says Alexis is ambitious and strong, and she's always willing to help those in need. We love giving a shout out to our seniors, so keep sending in your photos. Text 2020 to 509-448-2000 and we'll send you the submission link. We'll be right back.
While the rest of our Up With KREM